I saw it uh, 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 one 2 year later, 2 year ago. I think
Oh, I
it's
see.
really bigger. Yes, it's you can imagine it's try or try
Yeah, they say,
normal
yeah, it's sometimes it looks like an illusion. So do you know this word, illusion?
illusion.
So illusion means when something looks
Yeah.
one way, but it really is different, right? So it's an illusion. So for example, when the moon is low in the sky,
Yes.
it is not really that much bigger. But when you see it next to other things like buildings,
Yeah.
then it creates an illusion in your mind that it looks like it's so much bigger, but it's really not. It's an illusion.
Yes. Thank you.
Illusion.
Yeah.
A few days, I go to a place, and I saw and I see the moon.
Oh.
Really really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many days ago?
I go to 2 day
Oh,
liên tiếp.
2 days ago. Ah, I see.
Yes.
I see. Yeah, that might have been the super moon.
But probably I bỏ lỡ. When moon full. Yes.
I see. So maybe let's see. Maybe we'll start with Olivia's paper then. So Olivia, you'll read your paper for us. Do you want
Yes.
to read to us?
This is a picture I suppose very nice.
Yeah, I like this picture a lot.
I saw this picture taken at a place in a countryside in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Probably people on the road, and he saw a picture nice, and he took it.
Yeah.
Yes, the picture show 3 kids working together on a grassy path.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, on the background is a field that is a rye field. It's yellow or of older rye.
Huh?
Further is seem to be a forest.
Mm-hmm.
On the left, uh, I see the boy. He about 10 years old, and
Okay.
he wear shirt. She wearing shirt, wearing green shirt, a green short, and gray shirt.
Uh-huh.
On the left, I see and the girl about 12 years old. I see she wearing trouser, a gray trouser, and
A green shirt.
green shirts,
Mm-hmm.
and green shirt,
Green shirt and gray trousers.
green shirt and gray trousers. Um, I see both of of them carry many things, and I see and they working together and talking and talking together.
Uh-huh.
I see they are very happy and friendly.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Behind two children, I see a boy about 12 years old. He wearing a black shorts and green shirt. Both hands, both hand of his carry a package. He looks unhappy. I suppose three kids are friend with each other. Maybe at this time they are a little unhappy, but when we see they are working together, they carrying lots of things like who is moved. Although unhappy, but they are still working together. So I think it is a very close friendship.
Okay, let's see.
Yes.
So let's do some let's go through it together now. So what we have here, I really like this picture.
Yes. Thank you.
You don't know where it was taken though. It's just the countryside, but do you know what province?
Yes. In Hue.
Oh, in Hue. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I saw this picture taken at a place in the countryside of Vietnam. So we can just write like this. So maybe here's what I'll do. So I'll make a copy of this, right? So here's another copy here that we'll put down at the bottom, right? This is the bottom here. So we'll make changes to the first one. Yeah, we can do this together. We'll do this one together. And then when you have some time, you can go to the bottom, to the new one, and then you can make the changes yourself.
Yes, I always do this.
Yeah, see how well you remember. So let's see. So we'll start here. So I saw this picture taken. So we don't need to say at a place. We can just say in the countryside of Vietnam. So this one, we can delete.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
this, and then we don't have to say, I saw this picture. We can delete this too. We can say, this picture.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so we delete that. And let's just start the sentence saying, this picture
Yes.
was taken in the countryside of Vietnam. Okay?
Okay.
Probably people on the road. So now here's the thing. Probably, so it's a person on the road, right? So this is the thing. Let me show you here. When we use a, we say a person,
Yeah.
right? This means one person.
Person. Yes.
Or if we have more than one, we say people, which is more than one person. So many people, two people, right?
Yeah.
So what you wrote in your sentence is a people. It's not correct. You see?
Yes.
You have to write a person, or you will write people. But you can't write a people, because when you say a, you use a with person, which is only one.
Yes.
You can't say a two people, a three people, a many people, a people. You can't say it. It's only a person. That's the only time you can say a, when you're using for one person, you know?
Yes.
Like if I have, this morning I'm eating a banana, right? This is one banana. So I can say a banana. I can say I am eating one banana this morning, or I can say I am eating a banana. I'm eating a banana is the better way to say it. So I could say
Yes.
I am eating, now I have two, so I can say I am eating 2 bananas this morning, or I am eating bananas this morning. But I can't say I am eating a bananas, or I am eating a 2 bananas. I can't say it that way. I can only say I am eating a banana, only one.
Yeah.
So probably a person, right? We would say probably a person took the photo from the road when he, she saw a nice picture
Yes.
opportunity. Okay?
Okay.
Now, okay, so the picture shows 3 kids, and we could also say 3 children,
Yeah.
right? You could say 3 kids is okay, but I also like to say it like that, 3 children.
Yeah.
And walking together on a grassy path. So we might say more like along a grassy path, along, right? Like I am walking along the road. I am walking along with my friends. I am walking along the river, right?
Yes.
So let's see. Hello, Daisy. So we're going to, so we say on, along a grassy path, okay? On the background, and this one we will say in the background, right? In
Yes.
the background, yeah.
Yes.
And the other way we could, so the background is what is in the back of the picture, in the back. But we can also say in the foreground. This is what is close to us in the picture.
Yes.
Right? So if we look at the picture, we would say that in the background there is a forest, or there are more trees, tall trees. But in the foreground, there is short grass and children walking. Right? That's in the foreground.
Yes.
Okay? Let's see.
Yes.
This dog is crazy. Hold on one second.
Không gọi được cho Vinh hả? Sao Vinh kỳ vậy nhỉ? Mở mic đi.
Sorry, the dog was barking. Okay.
Okay.
So in the background, there is, right? In the background, there is a field. That is a rice field. So
Yeah.
what we have here is we have to make a stronger
We
sentence.
have to make a stronger sentence. We have to make.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
sorry.
We have to make a stronger sentence, but it's true. We have to make a stronger sentence, right? So you have a lot of very short sentences here, and they are not very strong. So we need to combine them together to make a strong sentence. So like, it is of yellow rice. That is a rice field. Further seems to be a forest. Like we need to put this together into one sentence.
Yes.
We don't need to have many sentences because this will make our paper very, very slow. It will be, it will stop. I read, I stop. I read, I stop. Right? So we don't want to do it that way. We want to make it smooth and make it flow nicely together. So what we could say is something like this. So what you wrote is, on the background is a field, right? That is a rice
I
field.
think we use in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just writing her sentences first.
Yeah.
Is yellow of old rice. Further seems to be a forest, okay? So what we need to do here is we need to say, okay, how do we combine these sentences together? Maybe we can make two sentences. So we might say, there are rice fields. There are old yellow rice fields in the background.
Yes.
You see? There are old, comma, yellow rice fields in the background. Okay?
Okay.
So, and then I can say, in addition, oh, shoot, let me see here real quick. And I could say, in addition, or I could say also, right? Or also, or furthermore, it looks like there is a small forest,
Yes.
right? So I would say it like this. Yeah, okay. Maybe let's see how this sounds now. So let's read this. So we have to say, so in the background, but we will say there are old yellow rice fields in the background. In addition, it looks like there is a small forest. Do you see? It's smoother, right? It's not on the background is a field. That is a rice field. It is a yellow bowl rice. Further seems to be a forest. Like you keep stopping because there are so many sentences. So we add the sentences together and make strong sentences.
Yes.
Okay. Now, further, you could, if you wanted to say it like this, you would have to say further, there seems to be a forest. It is yellow. It is old yellow rice, right? So it is old yellow rice.
Yes.
That's how you would write that. This one, that is, and here we talked about again, we have a rice fields, right? So a rice fields, you mean you need, there are more than one, right? You are talking about more than one rice field. So we can't say a rice fields, right? Just like we can't say a bananas. or a people, right? We just say, in the background, there are
Yeah.
rice fields,
Yeah.
right? We don't say there are a rice fields. There are rice fields. Okay?
Yeah.
So moving on to the next. On the left, a boy about 10 years old. He's wearing a... Now, we can probably combine these sentences too. We can join them together to make one strong sentence, right? So what if we said, there is a boy, let's see, there is a boy about 10 years old on the left who is wearing a gray shirt with green shorts. What do you think?
Yes.
So we're just combining sentences. So I'm practicing this with a lot of students now, combining sentences, because a lot of times people are writing very short sentences that are weak, right? They're weak sentences. When we combine the sentences together, we can make a stronger sentence that tells us more, right? So on the right is a girl about 12 years old. So again, we can do the same thing now. Okay?
Yeah.
So there is a girl about 12 years old on the right side, comma, who is wearing a green shirt with gray pants. We'll say pants because trousers are like nice pants. Pants maybe you will wear to a wedding or to a business. Whereas pants, like right now, I am wearing pants or jeans.
Yes.
Right. So I wouldn't say like at Hama, I don't have trousers here. Right.
Yes.
I don't have them. I would wear trousers to a wedding or a funeral or some special occasion, or if I'm going to business work, you know, working in a business, and
Yes.
I wear trousers. But these children are not wearing trousers when they walk through the field. They would be wearing pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So now you see that what you have is you had 4 sentences. You had on the left is a boy about 10 years old. That's one. Second sentence, he's wearing a gray shirt and green shorts. Third sentence, on the right is a girl about 12 years old. Fourth sentence, she is wearing a green shirt and gray trousers. You have 4 sentences, right?
Yeah.
And what we did now is we made only 2. Yeah, so we took 4 sentences that you wrote and we made them only 2 sentences. So this will give our story a better flow. This will help it will read better. It will read more smoothly, right? Because there is not so much stopping when you change sentences. Okay, so both of them carry lots of things, but how about we say both of them are let me see. Both of them are carrying. Yeah, both of them are carrying. Right? Both of them are carrying. You can say lots of things, it's okay. Lots of things, but I like to say many things. Both of them are carrying many things in their
Yes.
hands, right? So, and you could say it like this, instead of saying both of them, I might write it, the children,
Yes.
or the two children. Yeah, that's maybe even better, the two children. Rather than say both of them, I think we can say the two children. How's that? The two children are carrying many things in their hands. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, they are walking and talking together. They look very happy and friendly. Now, why don't you each try to combine this sentence and write it, text me in the chat box how you will say it. These two sentences, let's combine these sentences. Let's make it one sentence. Can you try to type use these two sentences that Olivia wrote and make them only one sentence? Can you try it? Let's see how you can do. Can you try it and then write your sentence in the chat box to me? Can you try it?
Yes.
So they are walking and talking together. They look very happy and friendly. How can we combine these sentences to make a strong sentence? How do we do this? Teach me.
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
Yes.
Okay, so Olivia wrote, they are walking and talking together. How about we say, while, so we need a transition here. We need a transition word. So we could say, they are walking and talking together. They are walking and talking together while looking happy and friendly.
Yes.
They're walking and talking together while looking happy and friendly. Or we could say it a different way. We could say, they look happy and friendly while walking and talking together.
Yes.
I think that one's even better.
Yes. I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And so they look very happy and friendly. Behind the two children is a boy about 12 years old. He is wearing a black shirt, green shirt. A black, so we in order to do this, we have to say a black and, right? A black and green
Yes.
shirt.
Green shirt.
Yeah, you have to say and.
Yes.
I think maybe you get confused when some people do this. I notice. So if you have three things, like maybe the shirt has three colors. So maybe the shirt is black, white, and green. Then we would say a black, comma, white, and green shirt, right? Or if there are four things, a black, comma, white, comma, red, and green shirt, right? So and is always going at the end of our list when we are writing a list. How many colors? You know, a black color, a white color, a green color, right? So you see where and is going every time. And is going to connect the last one, right? So if there's only two colors, black, then you say black and green. But if you have three things, you're going to say black, white, and green.
Yes.
You're always going to connect the last one with the word and.
Yeah.
So when you're telling me a list of things, you're telling me many things, and the last one. You see, you tell me the list and the final one, right?
Yes.
So a black, white, red, and green shirt, right? A black, white, red, blue, and green shirt. A black and green shirt. So you understand when we use and? Because a lot of people make this mistake, and I think that they're confused about when to use the comma and when to use and. So your sentence, you have a black, comma, green shirt. Now you see this is not right, right? You have only two things, green and black. So you need to connect them together with and.
And, yeah.
Right? If you had it like this, black, comma, green, then you need to have and maybe white. See, like you need more. You need more colors because you are doing a list. So black and green, because we're joining the two, only two, and we need to connect them together. We use and.
Yes.
Okay? Both hands of his carry a package. He looks unhappy. So first here, there are a lot of weak sentences. So we're going to need to join sentences again to make strong sentences. So behind the two children is a boy about 12 years old. He is wearing a black and green shirt. So what if we said it like this? Okay, if we said, there is a boy about 12 years old behind, or we could say walking, right? What is he doing? He is walking. A 12-year-old boy walking behind the two children. Right? There's a boy about 12 years old walking behind the two children.
Yes.
He is wearing a what color shirt? A black and green shirt. He's wearing a black and green shirt, and both he looks and both, well, we could say, and both of his hands are unhappily carrying things. He looks unhappy. So his hands are, he is unhappily. Now maybe we could say it a little different. He looks unhappy in wearing his, yeah, maybe we could say it like that better. We could say he looks unhappy wearing a black and green shirt and both of his hands are carrying things. Or, how about this? This is the best way, I think. What if we said, there is an unhappy looking boy about 12 years old walking behind the two children. He is wearing a black and green shirt and both of his hands are carrying things. How about that? I think that's a good one.
Yes.
So you wrote a sentence that says he looks unhappy, but that's not a strong sentence, right? We need to add this to a different sentence to make it stronger. So that's why I said, there is an unhappy looking boy. Okay?
Okay.
So I like the idea that you're writing these. This is a good, what you're doing is good because you're writing some short sentences. They're short and basic sentences. They're easy sentences. So that's good. But what we have to practice now is write your short sentences, your easy sentence, but practice combining them. Practice joining them together and making a strong sentence.
Yes.
I think this is a good way to do it, right? You have to learn. So you're doing it step by step. First step is to write a simple sentence. Then the next step is to combine it to make it stronger.
Yes.
And then I think you will have a nice sentence and a nice paper.
Yes.
So it's a good habit to write simple sentences. So I suppose 3 kids are friends with each other. Maybe at this time they are a little unhappy. Okay, but when we see they are walking together, they carry lots of things like who is moved. Although unhappy, but they are still together. So I think this is a very close friendship. And this picture is very nice. Okay, so let's see here now. I suppose. We could use this word here that is common. We could say perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps, comma. So perhaps is just like maybe. So if I said, what time will you go to town today? I say, perhaps after lunch. Or, will you study after class today? Perhaps. Right? It means like maybe. Maybe I will. Maybe. Right? So, maybe the 3 children are friends.
Yes.
Now, when we are writing our sentences, we want to make sure that every word that in our sentence is going to be important, is going to add value in our sentence, right? So, for example, in this one, we are saying too much. We could say, perhaps the 3 children are friends. That's all you need to say. Perhaps the 3 children are friends. We don't need to say with each other.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to say that. Because I know who else are they friends with? Their parents, some other people not in the photo with the God in the sky. I don't know. I think we know that you're talking about the 3 children together are friends,
Yeah.
So when you say that 3 kids are friends with each other, when you say with each other, you don't really tell me anything. That I know that this is between them, that you are talking about these 3 children. So you don't need to say it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just say perhaps the 3 children are friends. Right? It would be like me saying in your study group, perhaps, Daisy, Olivia, and you how would I say your Vietnamese name? Phuong, yeah? Phuong. Yeah, Phuong. It's correct, right? Yes, Phuong. So I would say Daisy, Phuong, and Olivia are friends with each other. I don't need to say with each other. You know that I'm talking about you, right? Right? Phuong,
Yes,
Olivia, and
exactly.
Daisy are friends.
Yes.
That's all you need to say. They're friends.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe at this time they are a little unhappy, but when we see they are walking together, so we can combine these sentences again, right? We need to combine these sentences. So let's do it and make a strong sentence. So the children, how about this? The children are walking together and they appear to be unhappy.
Yes.
Yeah. So what did we do here? We got rid of some things. We got rid of maybe at this time. You don't need to say this because I know we are looking at the picture. This is what we are doing. So I know you are describing the picture. So you don't have to tell me maybe at this time. It doesn't tell me anything. You know? You can just
Yes.
say they look unhappy. And they are walking together, they look unhappy. Now, one thing you have here is, so you really have two sentences. So let's see. The two sentences you have are like this, right? The first sentence is this way. Maybe at this time, they are a little unhappy. Your second sentence is, but when we see they are walking together. Now, the way you structured it is you have your sentences like this, one and then two. But many times you will see in English that we can do it the other way. We can also write our sentence using two and then one. Right? So you see number two, the second sentence, and then you write the first sentence. Whereas how you wrote it the first sentence and then the second sentence. Do you see, understand what I'm telling you? You wrote it like this. I wrote it like this. Do you understand?
Yes.
So maybe let's try another example. So if I said to you, how about this way? Maybe I can write it, I'll write a sentence. And I'll say, let me see. So what if I said, I will go to the store today, comma, after our study group ends. Okay? Now what I have here is I have two sentences. Right? My first sentence is, I will go to the store today. And my second one is, after our study group ends.
Yeah.
Our sentence here looks like this. Sentence one and then two. Sentence one is first and then sentence two. But what I'm telling you is we can do it oftentimes, we can change it and do sentence two first and then sentence one. So we can say, after our study group ends, I will go to the store today.
Yes.
So this is what I'm referring to as 2-1.
Mm.
Whereas in the top, I will go to the store today after our study group ends, that is 1-2.
1, 2, yes.
So what I'm telling you is that you many times will see sentences like this. And you should think you can often change it to do 2-1, not 1-2. So you should practice seeing this in your sentences and in your writing, because many times when you do 2-1, it sounds better and it flows better. So when you're reading your paper, you want to get into the habit of checking it, of trying to see if maybe if you change this one with this one, you change them around, if it sounds better, if it has better flow to it. It's a good habit to get into, to checking these things. Probably we'll find more like this in the rest of the paper. Let's see.
Yes. Thank you.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, so we generally don't want to start our sentence off with so. We can just say, I think this is a very close friendship. You know, that's all I need to say. I don't need to say, so I think this is a very good friendship. I don't need, why do I need to say so? So let's not begin. When we are talking or when we are writing a text message, maybe I can say so. But if I'm writing a paper, I want to be more formal, and I don't want to begin my sentences using so or
Yes.
but or because or and. When you see these words at the beginning of your sentence,
Yes.
you should take them, you should remove them. And I'm telling you, your sentence will be better if you remove those words.
Yes.
So I think this is a very close friendship, and this picture is very nice. See, now you started your sentence again with and. You generally don't want to have a sentence begin with and, because what you're doing here is you have two sentences, right? There are two sentences. Now what we can do is, if we want to have two sentences, then we need to get rid of and.
Yes.
We need to say, I think this is a very close friendship. This is a perfect a picture, very nice picture. Two sentences. We use and if we're going to make it all one sentence. So we would say, I think this is a very close friendship, and this is a very nice picture.
Yes.
So do you see the difference? What you're doing is, when you use and to begin your sentence,
Yes.
it is like you are mixed up. You don't know what you want to do. Like you either want to join the two together, use and to join your sentences, to combine your sentences, but you didn't do it. Instead, you wrote two sentences, but you used and. So it's like you're mixed, you're confused between whether you want to join them or not to join them. So you did a little bit of each one, right? You did two sentences using and, so you're like in the middle. If you want to do only one sentence, then you would use and. If you want to do two sentences, then you don't do and. But the way you did it is you did two sentences and used and. So you can't do them all like this. You have to do it one way or another way, but you cannot do both.
Yes.
And this is also why, for the same reason, why you generally don't want to use and, but because
He.
because it's the same reason. Because is connecting your two ideas. If you write a sentence with two ideas, you will say like, you know, I don't want to go outside today because it is raining.
Yes.
So you're saying that it's raining outside. I don't want to go out because it is raining. So you need to keep this as one sentence. You're telling me this is one thing I'm doing and this is why I am doing it. So you use because to put the ideas together, to join these ideas,
Yes.
connect. But what if I just said to you a sentence that I just said, okay, so I first said, I won't go outside today because it is raining. But what if my sentence I just said, because it is raining? You would say, what do you mean because it is raining? What does this mean?
Yes.
You need to tell me more. Like, because it is raining. I would say, well, so what? It's raining because of what? Yeah, you have to, you know, just like I did not say, I will not go outside today. Like, I don't say that now. I just wrote the sentence, say, because it is raining.
Yes.
Then what you know, I don't know what you're telling me. So you have to say, I don't want to go outside because it is raining. So you can't just write a sentence that says because it is raining. Right? So that's why I mean you don't want to start your sentence that way. Right?
Yes.
So for and, but, because, all of these words, it's the same explanation. What I'm telling you is the same.
Yes.
Okay, okay, so let's continue. Okay, well, that's all there is. So we finished your paper. Okay,
Yes.
and then I think I did Fuong's paper the other day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we'll do, Daisy, did you write a paper?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe we'll read Daisy's paper now. Did you write a paper, Daisy? You did? Oh, maybe we'll work on your paper now.
Chị cho anh tắt xe màn hình đi.
Rick đang share mà chị đâu có share đâu.
Okay.
So Daisy's paper is. Oh, this is these are the questions. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, here it is. Here, this one. Walking with a photo that you took. Okay. So let's see. Who's this? That's a cool picture. Okay, so what I'll do here again is we'll copy this, right? And then we'll put it at the bottom. So when you can do it again when we're finished, and you can make the changes yourself. Okay, so I love taking, okay, Daisy, do you want to read to us?
Yes, okay. I'm sorry I was late this morning.
Oh, that's okay.
Today I would like to tell you about my favorite beaches. I love taking photos, and this is one of my favorite pictures I took 5 years ago. This is pictures of about my twin sister in the early morning at the center of Ho Chi Minh City. When my sister and I graduated university, we moved from Toda to the center, and we decided to wake up early in the morning to see the dawn. The dawn in this
the dawn
in the city, and the pictures. So my picture, my sister could feed in the kitchen with green beans in front of the
cathedral. Yeah, cathedral. Yeah.
My sister was
Smiling
when there is a pigeon perched on the side, packing for food, and there are 3 of them who are collecting beans on her hand. A flock of pigeons are around her, which mostly have 2 men, black and white. However, there is one with and some guys, I think some guys could have painted it. And only one point I like in the pictures the most, the most is that the beam sunlight reflects in my it colors in my sister hair, and you see and come back and it make me feel the fresh morning and peaceful. I think it's very beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah. And this, my sister and I walked enter the cathedral diamond plaza. Make those who make it, taking suits for their wedding. Yes, and cars and the flock of birds and the lights and the moon with the many
I see.
This is a very beautiful morning with this lovely city.
I see. Okay. So let's go up here. Thanks for reading that. So I love taking photos, and so you don't have to say my top favorite, because your favorite means your top, right? It means this. Your favorite means the most. So when you say your top favorite, you're saying the same thing 2 times. It's like saying my top one, right? You don't need to say my top one. You can just say your favorite one. Right? My favorite one. So I love taking photos, and my favorite one I took 5 years ago. Or we could say it like this, right? So this is also a case where we have like 2 ideas, and I think we can reverse them. So you say my favorite photo is my favorite photo, which I took 5 years ago. But what if we said, I love taking photos, and I took my favorite one, and 5 years ago, I took my favorite one. 5 years ago, I took my favorite one. Just to see that you can change the wording, right? You can switch as a different way. This photo is about my twin sister in an early morning at the center of Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, so this photo I took, so you would say, I took this photo. How about that? I took this photo of I took this photo of my twin sister. I took this photo of my twin sister one early morning. One early morning. Okay? When my sister and I just graduated university and moved from Tuduk to the center. So this is how you spell it in the British way, right? You spell center the English way or British way. You see you have center here, center of Ho Chi Minh City. You spell it the English way or the American way. And then you have center here, you spell it the British way. So I would say you can spell it center or center, right? American English is center. British English is center, right? But you have to use the same. You can't change it. If you're going to use center one way, then you have to use your whole paper like that. So you cannot make it different. You cannot say American English and British English for the word and change them. You don't do it like this. So if you want to say center, like here, like this one, then we will say it like this, the whole paper. Okay? So when my sister and I graduated university and moved from Tuk-Tuk Center, we decided to wake up. Yeah, exactly. We decided to wake up early in the morning to see the dawn in the city. Okay, so I would say you can say when or you can say after. You can say either one, I think, is okay here. But I will just let you know, you could say after my sister and I graduated university, we moved from Tuduk to the center of Ho Chi Minh City. Period. Because the sentence is getting too long. Right? We don't want to make it too long. Because then our reader will forget what they're reading about. Right? So we can say, when my sister and I graduated university, we moved, I would say it like this, right? We moved from Tuduk to the center of Ho Chi Minh City. We decided to wake up early one morning. To see the dawn. Now is this right? Yeah? Or to see the dawn. But we don't need to say in this city. Because you mean in Ho Chi Minh City, right? So you don't need to tell me it again, because you said, we're saying in a sentence, we moved to the center of Ho Chi Minh City. And then your next sentence is saying that we woke up to see the dawn one morning. So I know that you're in Ho Chi Minh City because you just told me you've moved to Ho Chi Minh City and then I woke up. This would be like me saying, yeah, I'm living at Hama now. And one morning I woke up to see the sun. Like, you're going to know that I'm talking about Hama, right? Because I just told you I'm living in Hama. So I don't need to say, I'm living in Hama now. And one morning in Hama, I went to see the sun. Like, you don't need to say that because I know, right? The only way you would want to say specifically is if you were talking about someplace else. So if I said, I'm living in Hama now, but one morning I woke up in Cambodia to watch the sunset. then I would say different. I would tell you the place because it's different from Hama. But if I tell you I'm living in Hama now, I don't need to say I woke up one morning to see the sunset. I know that it's Hama. Okay? So for this reason, you don't have to say in this city. The picture shows my sister feeding. Right? We don't need to say who is. We can just say the picture shows my sister feeding the pigeons with green beans in front of the cathedral. Yeah, I like that. My sister was smiling while she was smiling. How about she was smiling at a pigeon? She was smiling at a pigeon perched on her thigh, begging for food. Yeah, does it make sense? She was smiling at the pigeon, begging for food, and there are three more. So I would say, and there are three of them. Let's say, how about we say more pigeons? And there are three, instead of them, say, and there are three more pigeons eating, right? They're not really collecting, they're eating, right? That's what they want to do. They don't want to collect them to save them. They want to eat them now, right? Collecting means like, you know, you go to the forest and you are collecting mushrooms and you are going to bring mushrooms home to cook for dinner tonight. So you're going to the forest to collect mushrooms, right? You're not eating the mushrooms in the forest, right? You are collecting them to bring home and you will eat them tonight. So you are collecting the mushrooms. But if you are going to the forest to get mushrooms for eating right now, then you will say, I'm going to the forest to eat mushrooms. Yeah, I'm going to the forest to eat mushrooms today. But if you're not going to eat in the forest, you will say, I'm going to the forest to collect mushrooms. You see the difference? So the pigeons are not collecting beans to eat later, right? Or eat some other day. The pigeons are eating the beans now, right? They are not collecting beans. They are eating beans, right? Because they are not saving these beans for tomorrow or for later. They are eating them right now. They are not collecting. So do you understand the difference between collecting? Yeah. Okay. Collecting beans. So, and three more of them were eating, were eating beans from her hand. Yes? It's like if I have a banana in my hand, somebody came and took the banana from my hand. You know, they took it from my hand. The pigeons took the food from my hand. The dog ate the food from my hand. Right? A flock of pigeons are around her. So instead of say are around her, we can say a better word for this would be a flock of pigeons surround her. It means the same thing, but this is the word, what the word surround means. It means to be around something like this, to surround her. Okay, they surround her, which mostly have two main colors, black and white. But how about a flock of black and white pigeons surround her. I think that's better, right? It's a stronger, shorter sentence, right? A flock of black and white pigeons surround her. So we can delete all of this. Remember, we want to just use enough words to tell our reader what we mean. We don't want to use too many words and make the reader spend more time reading, right? So see the difference? I wrote a flock of black and white pigeons surround her. So this whole other thing here, we don't need to say, right? These are all extra words that we don't need. So when we get rid of all of these words, we make our sentence strong, right? Each one of our words here is doing a lot of work and telling the reader what we want to say. However, we saw a pigeon with a pink feather. With a pink feather. However, there was also a pigeon with a pink feather, and then exclamation mark, like, you know, wow, this is something you don't see very often. Some guys could have painted this. It's so funny. So I think we can combine this here, right? We can probably combine all of these sentences. Yeah? So what if we said, it was so funny when we saw a pigeon with a pink feather, because maybe some guys painted it. Okay, so it's not going to be stop and go, stop, go, stop, go with new sentences. All right, new sentences, we read, stop, read, stop. However, this is one with pink feather. Some guys could have painted this. It's so funny. You see, it just doesn't flow, right? There's no flow. There's one point that I like this photo the most, is that the beam of sunlight reflects its color in my sister's hair. So we would have to say my sister's hair, like this. It's showing it's her hair. It belongs to her. My sister's hair, which is combined with her smile, makes me feel fresh air of my. This is extremely long sentence, right? It's incredibly long. So of course, this is not going to work for us, right? Now, we need to break this up. And so what if we said, instead of saying there is one point that I like this photo the most, how about we said something like, there is a beautiful beam of sunlight reflecting from my sister's hair, or the most special, or the special, let me think about how I would say this here. How do I say this? My favorite part of the photo is where the beautiful, where the ray of sunlight reflects my sister's My sister's hair. I don't know if I like this, if I like it this way either. I have to think maybe a little bit more about how I want to say this. But clearly we have to break it up into smaller pieces. If we break it up into maybe two sentences, then we can make strong sentences that are easy for the reader and they will be nice. This just is too long.
Yeah, sometimes I have a problem with sentence with so many ideas.
Yeah. Well, it's just, it's a habit, you know, so if you recognize this, then you have to practice, you know, just try to stop, you know, stop your sentence and think, well, how can I write it in shorter ways? You know, it's easier for the reader to understand you. So, we have, I will finish this for you. There's only a little bit left, but I want to think about a good way to write this. So it will take me a few minutes, I think, to think about it. But you see how this takes me time, right? Like I don't just write it. You have to think about it and you have to change it, right? The first sentence you write is probably not going to be very good. So if you write your paper with the first thought that comes to mind, if you said, okay, let me type, okay, done, that's not going to be very good. You have to, you do it the first time and then you go back and you read it again and then you change it, right? So if I'm writing a paper, if this is my paper, then what we are reading, what you first wrote, this would be my first draft, right? My first draft. And then I will go through it again, like how we are going through it now together. I will read my paper again for my second draft, and I will make the changes to my paper like I'm making to yours, but I will do this to my own paper. So I will read it 2 times. And sometimes I will think, maybe I don't like this. Maybe I still don't like how I said this. There is one point I like, but I will come back to it. So I do the rest of my paper. And then I read it a 3rd time and I do a 3rd draft. And then maybe I will fix this one and make it better on my 3rd time around. Right? So it's something that we have to practice. Yeah. It's practicing different ways and to get it perfect, to get it just right, you know. So anyway, I will continue fixing this paper and then I will put it in the folder. And when you have time, try to go over these and do some of the other papers too. You know, the other students, they're going to write papers. I'm going to fix their papers, and you should read theirs too.
Yes.
Right? Because that's how you'll get good at this, is by practice. If you don't practice, it will take you forever.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so